Welcome to MindNova. Here is the part 2 of the illusion of choice. Long before neuroscience existed, philosophers wrestled with the same question. Are our choices truly our own, or are we just passengers on a path carved by destiny? The Greek Stoics believed everything was fated, that even our resistance to fate was part of fate itself. Spinoza, centuries later, wrote, "Men think themselves free because they are conscious of their actions, but ignorant of the causes by which they are determined." In modern terms, we mistake awareness for autonomy. Then came determinism, the belief that every event in the universe, including human behavior, is the inevitable result of prior causes. The atoms in your brain obey the same laws as the stars, no exceptions. Every thought you have is the product of what came before. If that's true, then free will, as we imagine it, absolute freedom, untouched by causality, cannot exist. But there are counter-arguments. Compatibilists, like philosopher Daniel Dennett, argue that even if determinism is true, we still have functional freedom. Freedom, they say, is not the absence of cause. It's the ability to act according to our inner motives and reasoning. We may be bound by physics, but we are still agents within that chain. Then there's the opposing camp, libertarian free will. The idea that human consciousness can somehow break the chain of causality, that our minds can create effects that aren't determined by prior states. But physics disagrees. The brain is not a supernatural island, it's a chemical network operating in time. So if every neuron follows the laws of nature, then what room is left for freedom? The deeper you dive, the harder the walls close in. You reach a philosophical paradox. If you believe in total determinism, then morality, justice, and responsibility lose meaning. If you deny determinism, you deny the evidence of the very universe you're made from. Maybe there's no escape from the trap, only acceptance. The illusion of free will might not be a flaw, but a necessary fiction. Let's imagine for a moment that free will is, in fact, an illusion. What does that mean for how we live? Do we lose hope? Do we surrender to fate? Or do we find a new kind of meaning inside the illusion itself? Even if neuroscience proves that the brain acts before awareness, our experience of choosing still feels real. When you decide to forgive, when you resist temptation, when you reach out to someone who needs you, that moment of awareness matters. Maybe what gives life meaning isn't control, but conscious participation. Psychologists suggest that believing in free will correlates with happiness, motivation, and creativity. People who think they control their fate work harder, love deeper, and recover faster from loss. So perhaps the illusion is not a deception, it's evolution's masterpiece. It gives us purpose, the fuel to continue even when the truth feels mechanical. Without the illusion of agency, we might collapse into apathy, watching life happen instead of living it. Our species might need free will the way a story needs a hero. Even if the hero is written by the plot itself, we live, we act, we dream inside a cosmic machine that hums with cause and effect. And yet, within that machinery, we still find space for choice, for love, for art. Maybe that's what freedom really means, not the ability to change the laws of nature, but to dance gracefully within them. So what remains if free will is an illusion? If every thought, every heartbeat was written long before we were born? Maybe freedom isn't about control, but awareness. Not about changing the script, but understanding it. When you see the universe for what it is, a vast web of causes stretching back to the beginning of time, you realize something extraordinary. You are part of that web, not outside of it, not separate from it. You are it. The atoms that make up your body once belonged to stars. The impulses in your neurons echo the same physics that governs galaxies. So even if your choices are determined, they're determined by the universe itself. And that means when you act, the universe acts through you. Maybe true freedom isn't about escaping causality, but embracing your role in it. Understanding that your awareness, the ability to reflect, to feel, to question is itself the most astonishing form of agency. You are the observer and the observed. Perhaps free will is not about doing whatever you want, but realizing you are never separate from the forces that guide you. So the next time you decide something, pause. Notice how it feels. The hesitation, the spark, the whisper in your mind that says, choose. Whether that spark is physics or fate doesn't matter. In that instant, you are alive. And maybe that's the closest thing to freedom any conscious being can ever know. Today, we dive into finding meaning without free will. Follow for more, subscribe MindNova, and keep your mind awake.